Here's my audience. Miss Lakaya. And there is. And there's my daughter who's gonna video it. Okay, just get her. I'm gonna give it to Cadence now. Just get her. Okay. I don't have my paperwork. Sorry, Miss Thompson. So people can experience nature in a simpler way of life by going camping. And there are some people who do not believe they enjoy camping, but with the right information, guidance, and preparation, camping can be a really fun experience. Not only is it a beautiful way to see this great nation of ours, much less the entire world, it's a way to get back in touch with the natural side of ourselves and regenerate our minds and our spirits. It's also a good way to work on relationships. One way to go camping is with primitive tents, what most people think of, or in the travel trailers. But glamping is a new modern form of camping that a lot of people that are faint of heart don't want all the bugs or any of that dirt to deal with. But it's also a good idea for people that have any disabilities because they can't get down on the ground to a sleeping bag. Sometimes the airbag or the airbeds aren't very good for them either. There are many campgrounds located throughout the United States, and according to the NPS.gov website, the National Park Service, we have over 130 national parks with campsites available. And in real close to us is the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and it is the most visited national park in the world. It has over 8 million visitors a year, which I found astounding. But there's all kinds of camping there that you can do, from the primitive to the cabins. So some people don't think that they'll enjoy camping either because they've had a bad experience or they've just never done it. They don't want to sleep on the ground in a bag. I get it, but there are ways to make it tolerable and even enjoyable, and it's really good for your spirit. And armed with the right information and your expectations of camping, your camping experience can be most pleasurable. The campgrounds that I was telling you about in the state parks, they're listed all across the United States, and a lot of them are near tourist attractions or considered tourist attractions themselves. The Great Smoky Mountains, like I said, it has so many visitors annually, and again, that was according to NPS.gov's website. The parks offer several different camping types that range from the cabins to tents. Some of them even have the glamping situations now, but you'll want to reach out to each individual campsite and determine with the reservation department what will work best for you and your group. I worked for a woman back in 2000 who every year with her family, they went to one of the highest points in the Smoky Mountains, and the only way to reach this lodge is by trail or helicopter. So they always went, and she always talked about how beautiful it is and how peaceful it is, and I understand now why they go back every year. I've done a lot of camping throughout my entire life, and I really enjoy it, but you know, when my tent tends to leak a little bit with some rain, I don't like that either, but that's usually my fault because of lack of preparation. I've stayed in places where the daytime was magnificent with shaded areas full with the trees and a nice breeze, and then the night sleeping under the clear dancing stars with the bright moon. There's just something about sleeping under the stars, listening to the crickets chirp, that really make you feel rejuvenated deep down in your soul. There are areas or places with campgrounds, KOA, a lot of you are familiar with them. They have various amenities for those worried about not having amenities. They have really nice bathhouses. I've shown you a picture here of what a typical bathhouse would look like at a lot of the campsites. This is the oh no camping situation for people who may not want to go. That's their first thought when somebody says camping. Here's a map of the national park campgrounds. So you can see there are quite a few throughout all of North America. Here's a picture of what the glamping, some of the tents may look like. It really looks like a fun experience to me. I've never done it, but I would like to. you have down here, this is just a picture of a family who's waterside camping, and that's typical of what it usually looks like with our family when we're down on the river. And like I said, this is just the regular tent and bathhouse, things you could expect to find at a campground. A lot of the actual bigger campgrounds have a lot of updated amenities. They have bathhouses with showers, toilets, sinks, electrical outlets, mirrors, anything you could need for your normal hygiene. And campers with children can locate campgrounds that have a lot of things for the children to do, lots of toddler area playgrounds and whatnot. Some of us have our fur babies that are exactly part of our family and like babies to us, and we like to take them with us. So they do have areas that your dogs can get out on the playgrounds as well. And that ties me into another great point about camping is it's economical. It's usually more economical. Let's face it, when we travel, lodging is one of the biggest expenses we typically incur, and in comparison, camping is more economical than staying at a hotel or a condo resort. And according to glamping.com, glamping is usually still less expensive than a resort, but it's not always. They can get a little pricey depending on the campsite's level of glam and what you're seeking, the camper, in your areas of comfort. Campsites are typically rented on a nightly basis or a week. Some do allow by the month, but typically not longer than 30 days. And in addition, the campsites don't require a large monetary deposit like a lot of condo resort type units or hotels would. Camping near your home can be a staycation. A lot of times you don't have a full week to get away, and whenever you do that, it is a good alternative to having low funds or not a lot of time. You don't put a lot of wear and tear on your car. You don't waste a lot of time traveling to a campsite as you might on a regular vacation. And the act of camping alone just makes you feel like you're a world away and really on a vacation. It's the perfect remedy for a quick getaway and an inexpensive one. You don't have all the wear and tear on your car. Just keep your camping gear nearly accessible if you're going to be doing that. It's kind of like getting a double dip on your savings. But the best part of camping is the exposure we get to nature, to get back to the way things used to be and slow down just a little bit in our everyday lives. There may be no electricity or running water, but the simplicity of it all is sometimes just what our spirits need to reset and regenerate and rejuvenate a little bit. Cooking over a fire and collecting the wood that you do that with, and sitting down with your friends and family for a neat meal cooked fireside. There's just something about the smell of the fire and the nighttime air, and when it's clear enough in the sky, clear all your negativity away. And we get so busy sometimes we often miss out on what's important, and that's reconnecting with nature. And camping is definitely a way to do that. Our daily distractions are minimized, so you can reset your soul. And I found that even when I've been camping in some of the most undesirable conditions, I still return home feeling better and knowing that my soul has received a little bit of regeneration. There are many wonderful places to camp with whatever climate and landscape that you're in the mood for, or whatever you prefer, from beaches to snowy mountains. There's just a lot.